Welcome back, children. Let us continue the story of the magic stone. Page number 42 in the textbook. The king was very happy with the gift given by Mandan, the paras or magic stone, with which all metals could be turned into gold. Actually, the king was planning to build a fort city, a very strong city, but it would cost a great deal of money. He was not able to afford it. He could not get that much money to build a fort city, but now with the magic stone, he could turn all the metal into gold. So he can easily build, he thought. He told Mandan that he could easily build the fort city with the help of the magic stone. Mandan was very happy that his stone would help the king to fulfill a dream. He made a request to him, and Mandan was very happy. Why? That his stone would help the king to fulfill a dream. What was the king's dream? To build a fort city. And the stone that he had brought was going to fill or was going to help the king fulfill his dream. He felt very happy with that. But he made a request to the king. What did he say? Your Majesty, said Mandan, when you build your fort city, please use anvil-shaped stones. Your Majesty is used generally to refer or to address the king. Your Majesty, said Mandan, when you build your fort city, please use anvil-shaped stones. So these are the anvil-shaped stones like this. These like stones you use to build your fort city like that, he said. The king promised, I want the people to remember my profession, said Mandan. Why did he say like that? Of course, the king promised that he would agree to the request of Mandan that the fort city would be built with anvil-shaped stones. Why did Mandan want the fort city to be built with anvil-shaped stones? Because he wanted the people to remember his profession. What was the profession of Mandan? He was a blacksmith. So he always used that anvil-shaped stone to make, to repair, or to sharpen iron tools, so that everybody in the kingdom would remember his profession in the future generations also. He wanted the king to build the fort city with anvil-shaped stones. So the king agreed, promised. The king made a lot of money with the help of the stone. Now with the help of the stone, by touching the stone to the different metals, the king made a lot of money. His fort city was built. So his fort city was built. He ordered the builders to use some anvil-shaped stones in every building. In every building in the fort city, he ordered the builders to use some anvil-shaped stones because he had promised Mandan, who had asked to use anvil-shaped stones. And he called his fort city Mandu. He named the fort city after Mandan himself by naming that city as Mandu. But after his fort city was completed, the king lost all interest in his kingdom. After the fort city was completed, the king lost all his interest in the kingdom. And in all worldly matters also he lost interest. He died. That means he started showing no interest at all either in the people of his kingdom or in all worldly matters. He gave his kingdom to his son and decided to lead a life of religion. So he gave up his kingdom, he handed over his kingdom to his son, and he decided to lead a life of religion. Means he wanted to spread a religion. Before leaving the palace, he gave a big party on the bank of the river Narmada. So before he left the palace to concentrate his remaining life in religion, in a religious manner, he gave a big party on the bank of the river Narmada. River banks, Narmada river bank, he gave a party, grand party, and he called all his subjects. Subjects means what? whoever were there in his court, the king had a court in which he had ministers, soldiers, great scholars, dancers, musicians, all these come under subjects. So he invited all the subjects to that big party. The king had made up his mind to give away all his personal things to his people. So the king had made up his mind means what? He had decided to give away all his personal things to his people. Whatever he had, personal things, all he wanted to give to his people. He gave away money, robes means clothes, jewelry means ornaments, and gems means precious stones like diamonds, sapphires, rubies, all these. To all the people he distributed. He had already made up his mind to give away the touchstone to the royal priest. Not only that, he had made up his mind, he had decided to give away the touchstone to the royal priest. There was a priest there in his royal court. To that royal priest, he wanted to give away the precious stone. The king Jayasingh Deva had great respect for him. He wanted him to have the best. Why did he want to give that touchstone to the royal priest? Because King Jayasingh Deva had great respect for the royal priest. That is the reason why he wanted him to have the best. Means he wanted to give the best thing possible to his royal priest. That's why he decided to give the touchstone, the paras itself, to the royal priest. The priest was expecting gold and precious gems. But the priest was expecting something different there. He was expecting a lot of gold and precious gems from the king as a gift. He was very much disappointed when the king gave him just a stone. So he was very much disappointed. He felt very unhappy when the king Jayasingh Deva gave him only a stone, because he did not know the magic of that stone. He did not realize what it was. He did not know what it was, that stone was. In a fit of anger, the priest threw the stone into the river Narmada. In a fit of anger, just he got such an anger that he threw the stone there into the Narmada river. Because the party was held there on the banks of river Narmada only. It fell in with a splash. When it fell there into the middle of the river, the water splashed like this. Generally, when you throw a stone or a big rock into the water splashes out like this. When the priest came to know that he had thrown away the precious touchstone into the river, he was mad with grief. Then the priest came to know that it was a magic stone that he had thrown, that it was a precious touchstone which could turn any metal into gold. When he came to know that, he was mad with grief. He became mad with sorrow. Grief means sorrow. He jumped into the river and dived in again and again. He jumped into the river to search for the touchstone. Again and again he jumped, dived into the river to search for it. He had large nets put into the river from one end to the other. But it was of no use. The magic stone was lost, and lost forever. And not only that, he jumped into the river, he dived into the river, searched again and again, and he had large nets arranged there, put into the river, from one end of the river to the other end of the river also. But it was of no use. Why? Because the magic stone was lost forever. Permanently it was lost. He could not find that magic stone again. But the fort city of Mandu is still there. The fort city that King Jayasingh Deva built and gave the name after Mandan, who had given him the magic stone, that Mandu city, fort city is still there. It is one of the most beautiful monuments in our country. Even now also it is there. One of the most beautiful monuments in our country now. If you ever go to see it, remember the story of Mandan and the magic stone. If at all you want to go to see that particular fort city of Mandu, which is in the Malwa region, means in Madhya Pradesh, if at all you ever go to see it, remember the story of Mandan and remember the story of magic stone also. If you look carefully, you can spot the anvil-shaped stones in every building. When you go there, children, if you happen to go there to Mandu city, look carefully, you can spot the anvil-shaped stones. If you look at each and every building closely, you can find anvil-shaped stones in every building. They still remind everyone of the blacksmith of long ago who made a king's dream come true. So what do these anvil-shaped stones remind everybody in the country? Those stones still means even now, remind means make us remember everyone of the blacksmith of long ago. Who is that blacksmith? Mandan. And we immediately remember the blacksmith of long ago who made a king's dream come true. The king at that time had a dream to build a fort city, and Mandan helped the king in fulfilling his dream. That is why that city is still named there, city of Mandu, fort city of Mandu, which is there in the Malwa region, means which is in Uttar Madhya Pradesh. When you go to see to that, you can see the anvil-shaped stones there in every building. So this is a real story. Children, we have to understand that. So in the task for summative assessment, what have you understood? In A, there are some questions given there. Answer the following questions. Question number 1, who was Mandan? How did he earn his income? Who was Mandan? Mandan was a blacksmith. Like that we have tried. How did he earn his income? Then you have to write another sentence. He earned his income by making, repairing and sharpening tools of iron. This is how he earned his income. Like that you need to write the answers. First you should learn the way of writing answers. Repeatedly I am telling you, look at the question carefully, study the question carefully and answer that in a proper way. Question number 2, who was Nakul? Why did he come to Mandan? Nakul was a poor woodcutter, grass cutter. Nakul was a poor grass cutter. Why did he come to Mandan one day? He came to Mandan one day because his sickle had gone blunt and he wanted Mandan to sharpen it so that he could cut grass and sell it and earn money. For that purpose he came to Mandan. Question number 3, did Mandan repair Nakul's sickle immediately? No. Mandan didn't repair Nakul's sickle immediately. Why not? Because he understood that stone that Nakul had given to him was a magic stone, was a paras, with which he could turn every metal into gold. That's why he did not repair Nakul's sickle immediately. Question number 4, what was the stone that Nakul gave to Mandan? What was its magic? The stone that Nakul gave to Mandan was paras, a touchstone. A magic stone. What was its magic? Its magic was when you touch that stone with any metal, that metal will turn into gold. That was its magic. Question number 5. How did Mandan become the richest person in Malwa? With the help of touchstone or paras, which he touched all the metals and turned them into gold, sold that gold, and became the richest person in Malwa. Question number 6. What was the king's long cherished wish? How was it fulfilled? What was the king's long cherished wish? The king's long cherished wish was to build a fort city. How was it fulfilled? It was fulfilled with the magic stone or paras or touchstone given by Mandan to him. Question number 7. What did the priest do with the touchstone? When the touchstone was given to the priest, royal priest by King Jai Singh Deva, the prince threw the touchstone into the river, in the Narmada river. Why did he throw like that? Because he did not know its magic. He did not know the magic of that stone, so he threw the stone there into the river. Next, in the B part, tick the correct answer is given. There are some 5 sentences. For every sentence part, there are 3 options. We have to tick the correct option there. Mandan was a dash. Grass cutter, goldsmith, blacksmith. Blacksmith. So you have to tick against blacksmith. Knuckles' sickle became yellow because it was originally a gold one. It came into contact with the touchstone. It was painted in yellow. Option B. Knuckles' sickle became yellow because it came into contact with the touchstone. Paras is a stone which turns all metals into gold. That is only the correct option there. Option A is correct. Paras is a stone which turns all metals into gold. The remaining options are which turns only sickles into gold, which turns sand into gold. Both are not correct. Question number 4. Mandan gave the touchstone to the king. Option B is correct. Number 5. The priest threw the magic stone into the river. Option A is correct. Became the richest person with the help of the magic stone is not correct. Gave the magic stone back to the king also is not correct. Option A is correct. Okay, children, with that we come to the okay, children, we completed the A bit then under summative assessment, language in use and word now we will be discussing in the next class. Thank you.